when I first watched some of the stuff that you were doing, one of the things that appealed to me is that you talked about gentleman game, I came to a very similar conclusion that you did in a very different way. But I want to hear your explanation on this, because you understand the contrapositive to that, right? It's a lot of red pill guys that kind of get put into the wrong vector. They think, well, because women are attracted to status, that therefore they're bad. No, that doesn't mean they're bad. That just means they're attracted to status. Let's just learn the rules. Can you describe gentleman game?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. If I were taking you to lunch and I were trying to sell you something,
yeah,
would I not be polite enough to grab the door if I was in front of you? Would I not pick up the bill? Would I not talk to you about you instead of talking about me? It's human. And so when I look at these guys that go out there and they talk about, well, nag a girl or tell her she's not as pretty as she thinks she is, so she'll try to, it's really just, it's going to come off, even if she doesn't catch it, it's really just going to come off as insecure. I don't need to belittle a woman for a woman to want to follow or be with me. And especially, and I think most of the times is these guys, they think they have to be mean to a woman to set a frame with a woman.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely not true, because nobody wants to be treated like shit.
Yeah.
What she needs to know is that you're in control of the situation. You're going to open the door. You're doing those things because you want to serve her in the way that a man and a woman interact naturally. But that doesn't mean you're a simp, and she can find that out by you having a very firm, strong, normal frame that shows you're in control. In fact, I believe that showing a woman emotion, especially in a way where like these guys are like driving or they want to yell at her or call her names to like try to suck her in.
Yeah.
I actually think you lose control of the situation, because
of course, yes,
you're showing a woman emotion. So she now knows that she can make you act like a child. And being a gentleman is being in control. It's taking the role of a man. It's taking everything in the relationship with conviction and responsibility, and being that kind of, I always call it, be the mountain that her emotional waves crash into.
Yeah.
They want that structure.
You know what's interesting? What I think the disconnect is this. When you have a lot of options, let's say you have a 7-figure business and you're busy doing your business, and there are several, you're a high status man, and there are several women that are interested in you. Your natural course of action to some women, you're going to come off like an asshole. You don't mean to be an asshole. When you see them, you give them their full attention. Yep. And what happens is she's not going to complain to her guy friends and her female friends about this guy who was an asshole. He was not an asshole. What happens now is that guy now translates that when he goes on some forums online. It's like, well, okay, that means I need to be an asshole. And now his incongruency, so now he's still living in his mother's basement, trying to behave like the guy with the 7-figure income, who, the guy with the 7-figure income who has abundance of opportunities, and it's incongruent. And women quickly pick that out. Because here's the thing, right, from an evolutionary standpoint, and this is one of the main topics on the show, which, you know, as a man, we have less to lose if we have sex with the wrong woman. If a woman has sex with the wrong man and she gets pregnant, let's go back 50,000 years. She gets pregnant by the wrong man. She has a lot to lose, right? So which gender would be better at like reading facial expressions or trying to suss out bullshit? Obviously, females would. So the idea of you being incongruent to a woman, especially an attractive woman, who's been approached thousands of times
and lied to
by thousands of times by thousands of men since she was 14 years old, of course she's going to be able to suss that out. And this is the reason why, in general, I think pickup doesn't work, is because exactly what you said.
Look, man, I've been saying for quite a while now that I don't believe in pickup, because it's really this hollow shell that's eventually going to get popped. She's going to find you out. She's going to find you out. So you might be able to trick a girl and sleep with her once or twice, but she's not staying. And so a lot of these guys that come out there, they're not that guy. They go trick a girl into sleeping with him. And then he tricks her a few times until the truth comes out. He has feelings for her, and then she leaves his ass because he entered the relationship in a fucking lie. Good for you, bro. I hope that stings. But it's also a really good opportunity to say, what would it take for me to keep that girl?
Yeah.
And it's becoming a better guy. It's really like, I blame this whole scenario on weak men.
Yeah.
Because they want this cheap answer. They think they're going to follow some dickhead that's going to teach them how to say something mean to a girl and she's going to like them. Dude. It's bullshit. It's manipulative. It's a lie. And she's going to find you out in time, because you can't fake being a high level guy in real life forever. Yeah. It's gonna come up, and you're going to get outed, and she's going to go, and then you're going to call women trash and bullshit.
Yeah. There's a fantastic book called The Coddling of the American Mind by Jonathan Haidt. He also wrote The Happiness Hypothesis. He talks about the Facebook app going on the iPhone in '07. And what happens is, if you're in junior high at that point, you like literally lose the ability for interaction. I'll tell you right now, I don't even have to ask you. I already know the answer to this. You come from a time, and I come from a time where you would go to a bar and get in a fight and you'd go back the next week and no one would call the cops.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy. I grew up,
Yep.
I was a bouncer in Austin, Texas in 1999, bro. We had brawls, and the next day you were just cool. Like it doesn't
Right.
make any difference. From '07 on, these kids have never, I'm not condoning violence. What I'm saying is it was a different experience where if you had a problem with someone, it was an in real life interaction, and then it was solved. And you could actually go back and being friends. When it's an anonymous interaction, when you start talking about my mom for some reason because I don't agree with you on Ukraine, then all of a sudden now we're never going to be friends. And now you get into the situation where now the same guy has to confront a beautiful woman, has no idea what he's doing. You combine that with like what you said, a pickup ideology, which is I am going to manipulate my way into the win, right? So here's the difference, right? Where you might have a PUA who's like, I am going to manipulate a woman to coming into my mother's basement and having sex with me, whereas War Room and Men of Action would be, let's get the fuck out of your mother's basement, right? Let's be that. You say
Absolutely.
you're not that guy. Let's be that
Absolutely.
guy. Exactly.